So, Jenny,
Hello.
what did you expect from the review?
Do you know, I don't think I knew what to expect. I think I was the first person who did a coaching piece of work. And I really didn't know what I was going to get. So what I did was I provided information about the various coachees that I'd had. And I think preparing that information, thinking, I was always very good at passing exams when I was a child. I always used to think, what are they going to ask? I was good at question spotting. And you know, this time I couldn't spot the questions. So that was very interesting. I thought, what would I be asking? And I didn't know the answer to that. So I didn't know what to expect, which was a new experience for me.
Okay, and what was your experience? What was the actual experience like?
It was fantastic. There's something about reflection, and we're always told about the importance of reflection. But reflecting out loud to an audience is a very much more meaningful thing to do. And so having to think out loud and explain and think, now how did that happen, and what happened first, and what was my role in that, and whose idea was that, and all of those things with an audience commenting. And then the conversation that led us to was fascinating. For example, let me give you an example. I put something about the culture of the organisation that I was working with, and I put culture in inverted commas. And one of the reviewers said, why have you put culture in inverted commas? And I said, well, because of course there's no such thing as culture. It's a shorthand for who knows what. And we had a very long conversation about whether there's such a thing about culture or not, which we all enjoyed enormously.
So you found it an enjoyable experience?
Yeah, yeah. Thought-provoking, wandering around the implications, in a way, of what we were doing. And that very simple statement that I'd said, this is the culture of the company, not that I believe in the culture of the company, was very strange.
And how did you find the reviewers? How was their approach to it?
Again, very useful. My first reviewer, my lead reviewer, was very helpful indeed. As I said, this was the first time that we'd had a coaching piece of work, and she was very helpful indeed in getting the information together, asking the kind of questions that, had I known what to expect, I would have thought of. So I had a very useful experience before the positive gossip with my lead reviewer, which was very helpful. And then by the time we got to the resource gossip stage, it was very much a three-way conversation. I didn't feel as if I was in a special chair, in a way, in that conversation.
And just for those people who may not know what a resource gossip is, what is a resource gossip? Resource
gossip is the way that the final review conversation is described, where in effect the candidate, if we can call them that, and the two reviewers are talking about what went well in the piece of work, what they liked.
And you found that a very positive experience?
Yeah.
Okay. What would you say to others thinking about doing the review?
Do it. Use your lead reviewer as well as you can. Make sure that you talk to them as soon as possible, really. Because it's not always clear what adequate documentation might be. So it's worth doing that well in advance. And
it costs a couple of €100 to do this, so do you think it's value for money?
Yeah, I think it's value for money.
Mm-hmm. What makes you say that?
When you think how much it would cost to have somebody coaching you effectively for several hours.
Okay, Jenny, thank you very much indeed. Cheers.